It was about a half-day's travel from Site Zero in the Crystal Plains to the data relay tower in the Razorstone Pass that had been reported offline 2 days before. A scout cruiser was sent out, but they had not checked in yet, and were not reachable. It was a cause for concern, but not necessarily any kind of emergency. As I've mentioned before, the weather on our moon is much more harsh and sporadic. Atmospheric discharges and static ridges can interfere with certain types of communications. And even though we've been tracking these conditions for several years, we are still discovering new ways that they can disrupt our daily lives. You see, it is much harder to predict the weather on our moon. On our planet, the weather patterns are similar to those you have here on your planet. On our moon, static and electrical surges play a larger part in our weather, so the contents of the ground play as large a part as the contents of the atmosphere. This makes predicting weather patterns very difficult at times, as certain anomalies, such as crown saws. As you know, in my world, sound can take on physical form. Part of that phenomena is behind crown saws, which are sonic busts that shoot rings of ground debris up into the air, much in the way particles would pop off of the head of a speaker that was playing loudly. Only, crown saws have an initial rotation to them as well as a rise, and the magnetic field that is created can be strong enough to turn anything metallic into twisting shrapnel. The more I think about comparisons, if I were to loosely describe sky spikes as the wind version of lightning, I would describe crown saws as inverted magnetic tornadoes. Because we are still finding new ways that these conditions can interfere with our technology, especially our communications, it would not be surprising if something was going on in that region that was natural, and whatever was blocking the transmissions from the data relay tower was also keeping the scout cruiser offline. We called off any additional cruisers that were standing by, since we decided to take Endeavour down there directly, and we carry our own cruisers, generally 6 scouts and 3 jumpers with full operating crews. It was just as well. The weather along the Razorstone Pass can sometimes be as tricky as it is within the walls of the Great Rift, so the chances of damage to a cruiser is much greater, especially a scout, which is the smallest in the cruiser class, and not even allowed to fly into the Great Rift without an escort, and should one encounter a problem, there are no support posts within a quarter of a day of this particular data tower. We will soon be within short-form range, and will at least be able to determine if the missing scout is, indeed, missing, and if not, where it is and what they might have found.